What is up, YouTube, and welcome to another Let's Learn video. Today we're going to be playing some Warwick in the Jungle. We are going to learn how to jungle, play some basic jungle stuff, and talk about what it is you can do to do well as a jungler. So jungling is something that a lot of people have difficulty with, and they don't even want to try it because they are scared that it's just hard to learn. It's just not as easy to learn as some of the other lanes. So first thing you really want to do as your jungler is look at your matchup, who you are versus the enemy jungler. So they have an Elise jungle. Elise is not a very strong 1v1 fighter early on, so I know that if I want to, I can invade. Invading is not a beginner tactic, but if you're really confident in your character and confident in what you can do, it's actually worth it to invade. But it's always a risk. It's always a risk. You can never guarantee that you're just going to get a free buff, and that's that. So, can you ward red at? Please. I'm gonna ask Aurelia to ward their red, and she's gonna do it because she's my girlfriend and she's cool, and we'll go from there. So, with Warwick is one of the strongest junglers in my opinion for low elo, because he just has so much to give to the team. He can split push fairly well. He's pretty tanky depending on how you build him. His assassination chances are pretty good. Sona. Okay. He can assassinate pretty well, and his 1v1 dueling is pretty excellent as well. So that's why I chose Warwick, and I really like Warwick. He's actually the main person I jungle with. Thank you. Go ahead and use the smite as soon as possible, and I will take this camp quickly and then hop to. Whoops, I canceled my auto there, and I didn't kill that creep. Damn you. Alright, so now that I've taken that red, I'm actually going to run this route. I'm going to run up towards my blue, past past Baron Pit, up, and then around. The reason I want to do that is because there's really no other path for me to take where I'm not going to be spotted. If I run this way, then the towers will see me and shoot me, and that obviously is a bad thing. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to head over here, and if Elise is here, I can fight her. But she's not here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it one time, and I'm going to run all the way over here, because this is as far as you can take this red buff safely. It actually now is completely stealthed, and I'm taking it for free. And if not Aurelia, but if Elise comes over here to try to get her buff, she's going to just see that it's gone and not even probably think to run over here and check. So that was a completely free red buff for me. If your teammates work with you, throw them the thank you, be polite, and then so what I just did there was I put Elise really far behind. So taking her very first red buff is going to be pretty big for her. With Elise, she's actually probably more dependent on blue buff, but it still hurts the jungler if you can take their buff, because it puts them behind and it puts me ahead. Because now I'm level 3, I have a pretty much brand new reset on my red buff, and that is that. So as soon as I take their buff, I'm going to take my own, and because Warwick is not a very strong early jungler, early ganker, I'm not going to gank right now. I'm just going to focus on getting that farm up and hitting 6, and that's when we'll try to make the plays. Okay, so real quick, I'm not 6 yet, but I have gotten enough money to get my Madrids, and we're going to be going Feral Flare this game. What Feral Flare means as a jungler is you are somewhat sacrificing your early game in favor of late game damage. So I have enough for a word, so I'll pick that up, and I might be able to do something with it, maybe not. Important things to look at right now is how the team's doing. Top lane's doing okay. I don't really have the potential to gank right now, so anything that I may see that a lane needs help, but since I'm going a jungler who doesn't have a lot of early game pressure, I can't do a whole lot about that. But I will do something sneaky with this ward that I just bought, and I will go ahead. I think they know. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put this word right here, and as long as nobody saw that word is gonna help me out at the 7-minute mark. So in just over 60 seconds from now, we'll see what happens. Until then, I'll just farm up a little bit. So it looks like Elise is actually trying to counter gank me, trying to gank, so I'm just gonna run up and smack her in the face. And she can't fight me, so it's kind of silly for her to try. She's gonna have to wind up flashing. And I'll just let it go. Because I know Sona is gonna come in and attack, so that's okay with me. But something important to think about is the time frame right now. I actually saw this tip from a guy named Foxdrop LOL, and he had a really good advice, which is to pay attention to the buff. So 7 minutes and 10 seconds is when your first buff is going to come back up. So this just now spawned, and Elise is too low to try to take that. So I'm just going to counter gank or counter jungle her yet again, take her blue, and because I had this ward here, I know if Sona tries to come in to take it, she won't be able to do so. So Braum is here, and I'm just going to run away from him. He's not going to be able to... Okay, well there's Ez. I'm going to flash and just get the hell out of here, and I'm A-okay. Unfortunately, I did get caught with no Mia from the bot lane, but no big deal. I'm going to go ahead and ping them to be careful, because I'm too low to kind of get into that fight. But I did get what I wanted. I got the red buff, or the blue buff. Another good thing about having a ward right here is typically your jungler will give that buff to the mid laner. If you know that they're going to do that, or you think that they're going to do that, you can actually wait. Where am I? You can actually wait right here in this bush for their mid laner to come over there, and if you're strong enough, you can just take them out real quick. And it's a really good assassination spot, and it'll put the mid lane behind, and which is also a good thing to do as a jungler. So I just now hit 6, so my gank potential is there, so I need to start looking for ganks. Bottom lane, I see a pretty easy gank, but they're pretty low. I need to head that way, because if they continue to push this, if these people continue to push at all, we'll get a kill. So that will work out in our favor. I don't have my flash because I just used it on... Okay, I guess Jinx is running away. I'm not even going to attempt to gank that, but that's okay. We did get Ezreal to back off a little bit. So it looks like the mid lane has gone Mia, which is okay, but I need to go ahead and hop up here and grab my blue because it's just sitting there. And if Elise, as soon as Elise notices that I took her blue, she might be after mine. So I don't want that to happen, so I will be up here to take this. At this point, I've taken 2 buffs from her, which is going to set her behind. The last time Elise was seen, she was level 4, so I'm at least 2 levels ahead of her. Probably only 1 now because she's probably just hanging around in her jungle farming, which is fine. But yeah, here she is. I expected that shit. So if she wants to try to fight me, that's fine. I need to turn around. Uh-oh. Who pinged? Someone pinged that they were coming and did not come. But okay. I fought that because someone pinged that they were on their way and killed me. And I thought the fight was going to happen. So, whoops. Oh well. Someone take my buff. Take it. Oh, that was a misplay. Alright guys, so at the... what time is it? At the 13-minute mark, I have enough money. I'm going to go ahead and grab my Wriggles lantern and my level 2 boots, and I'm going to get a bunch of potions, and I'm going to attempt to solo this dragon. I haven't actually tried soloing the dragon at a lower level like this, but Warwick does have plenty, or not plenty, but tons of sustain, so he should be okay. I do have the blue buff and my red buff is up, so I'm going to go grab that first because that will not only help me with soloing dragon, but it will... I don't want to let... I do not want to let Elise take it, and Elise is bot, so... With Elise being bot, soloing dragon right now is actually pretty risky, so I may not try that. I might just go down there and try to counter gank. Nice. Seekermon going out and blocking the ult from Ezreal. I'm gonna go ahead and hop on Ezreal. Yo? Okay. Well, I got a double kill and Jinx ran away. She was very, very low, but it was also against a non-ranged character, so she easily could have been in there helping. That's okay. We're just playing with friends, so they're gonna make mistakes. Even in, you know, that's to be expected. You know, your team's never going to be perfect, and neither are you. So simple stuff right there. So I did get a pretty good amount of money from that. So with Warwick, I really, I'm gonna go ahead and sell these mana pots because I don't see me needing them like ever. Unfortunately, I lost my double buffs there, but that's okay. With Warwick, the recommended item for him, offensive item, is the Wit's End. I really do like the Wit's End because it works great with his ult, because his ult hits victims 5 times. That's 5 on hit. It says triggers on hit effects 5 times. So the extra damage from the Wit's End will actually trigger 5 times and give you lots of damage. However, the Blade of the Rune King does the same thing, but it does percentage damage. So as well as doing the on hit, as well as having the extra damage from that, it gives you the awesome passive of the Blade of the Rune King, which slows the enemy, it steals their speed, gives it to you, and it makes you ridiculously sticky when you go in for a gank. So I actually am going to take this Baron or Dragon by myself with absolutely no problem, and I didn't even waste my smite on it because I knew Elise was not in range. Honestly, if she wanted to jump in and kind of take it, she could, but she didn't. She wasn't there. So in a continued effort of me being an asshole, I went ahead and put a ward at their blue buff so that I could have vision of it. So I'm just going to ult Ezreal, and he's dead. Okay, I messed up there. Come on, you can do this, Jinx. Okay. You can't do this, Jinx. Jinx, auto attack. Jinx, auto attack. Okay. Just run away, Jinx. No, don't fight now. You're too... You did. Unfortunate. But this is not a game about the game, or this isn't a video about how the game goes. This is a video about how to jungle. So, soloing objectives as a jungler is one of the most important things you can do in low elo, or in any game, honestly, because if regardless of how your team's doing, if you can take dragon, if you can take turrets when they're unattended, take any objectives, that will make your team that much better. Because wow, she has some crazy range. It'll make your team that much better because any objectives you take, you are giving your team extra gold, and in the end, gold is what makes the difference. So at least counter jungled my blue, which is a smart move on her part, because she probably saw me bot, and she took my wolf camp. That bitch. What she's doing is she's taking my large minions, which is making my feral flares take longer to stack. So smart move on her part. It's only going to delay me getting the full stacks of my feral flare, but for the time being, it's doing what it's supposed to do. So we know where Elise is because of that ward, and Sion is running mid because he's taking the top tower. So no big deal. I'm gonna ping to be careful because I saw that TP coming in, and I am over here farming. But we can honestly could fight this, but I don't want to. Because I'm going to do what I do in every single game that I play in low elo, which is pretty much ignore my team unless I have a really easy gank, farm my ass off, and then make the difference in the end of the game. So I can actually go in here. I thought, no? Okay. I'm not sure what that pink is doing there, but... So Irelia is doing a really smart thing. She knows that because Sion is mid, she can push that tower, and she just got that tower for free. Sion did get a kill, so he's not necessarily wasting his time, but that turret is worth a lot more than the one kill. Uh-oh, time for me to back off. Ow, she hurts. If I can get one of them to attack me. So Ezreal's by himself. Let's see what he's got. He has a full Trinity Force. Oh, he's not by himself. I'm gonna wait until that last minion. Okay, never mind. They changed. Go ahead and pop my potion. This is not anything to do with jungling. This is just me running around trying to fight a super fed Braum Jinx or Braum Ezreal. So I'm disengaging from that and continuing to farm. Ow, well that was a jerk move. Quit it. Okay, well, I'm gonna ult you because the whole team's here. Team, come on. You can do this. Don't know if the ult was necessary, but Brom's probably gonna die from that. Good job. So what's happening right now is pretty much what you see in a lot of low elo games. Everyone's just all over the map doing whatever, fighting, chasing kills, not really pursuing objectives, and that's fine. That's gonna happen. So we know by looking at our timers that dragon will be up in 1 minute and 20 seconds. So I want to stay nearby dragon, and I want to try to keep my mana somewhat healthy so that I can take it when it does come up in that minute. I actually have just enough time to go B and grab some items, so that is what I'm going to do. Now Elise is top, so knowing that Elise is top is a huge advantage for me because I know that I can pretty much run up here and take this dragon for free. So I'm actually on my way to that, and we'll see what happens. With Elise being top, the reason I say this dragon is free, even though there might be other competition, is because they don't have their smite. Their smite is a very, very important tool and pretty much 100% necessary for taking objectives. So with that smite, even if they were to try to take it, I would most likely get it with my with the smite because of the massive damage output. So I've actually got 25 seconds left, so I misjudged that. Hopefully Zed can take this tower. He's running away from it. Okay. So there are 4 bots, and dragon is not up for another 5 seconds, but I can get it. The problem is that I'm going to lose that bottom turret, unfortunately. And we do not know where Elise is. I'm actually going to just hop over this wall and ult, so an easy kill for me. Or not. Okay. That was absolutely not worth it. You want to take dragon. Dragon is worth way more because it not only gives you money, but it gives your team money. And if you want to be a good jungler, you have to think about the team, which is kind of counter active to what I said earlier, but it's true. Alright guys, so now at the 24-minute mark, which is a very slow time, I've finally got my Feral Flare completed. The reason it took so long is, I've got a few reasons. I got counter jungled a little bit. At the same time, I did some counter jungling. I probably shouldn't fight this because she has double buffs, so that's pretty much going to counteract the damage I do. And I don't have any defensive items yet, so. Works for me. Thanks for the gank. Warwick Jungle getting a gank. Appreciated. But anyways, like I was saying, the Feral Flare I should have had a lot sooner, but I also have a Blade of the Rune King, which is going to give me pretty insane damage. I do not need any more offensive items. Sometimes when I play, I will get an additional offensive item, but it's just not necessary, especially if you're wanting to win. Once you get those 2 items with Warwick, you want to just start getting defensive, because you do really, really good damage. Your attack damage is great, because you do the percentage, the 10% of target's champion's maximum health as physical damage, and it heals you for the same amount. That plus the Feral Flare, and now it's time to start building defensive. So when you're building your jungler, you want to kind of look at, and this is specific to Warwick, so different junglers may not go defensive this early, or they may not ever go defensive. Like a lot of time your Warwicks or your Yees will be 100% offense, stuff like that. So we want to look at their team and see who's doing well. Ezreal is 11-3, and Sona is 8-2. So Ezreal right now is the biggest issue by far. So we want to counter build Ezreal, and what's going to counter build Ezreal is armor and health. So there's lots of options you can get. I'm just going to go with a Sunfire Cape. There's probably a better choice out there, but this will help me pretty well. Unfortunately, it won't do anything against Sona, but later on we'll look at a Spirit Visage or maybe a Banshee's Veil to to tackle that problem. I'm gonna go ahead and check my red. I have a feeling that I might be walking into my own death. Oh, someone over here is hurt. Hello. I can't catch you, or can I? Yeah, she healed herself back to where my blood scent wasn't working, so all good. I'm gonna go ahead and take this red, even though I already have double buffs. So now that I have these defensive items, I'm gonna do. Hey, come here, you. I'm going all in on this because look at that damage. All that I did was an ult and my Blade of the Rune King active and a Q. And I only have 2 offensive items. That is just insane damage, especially when you factor in how much armor I'm gonna wind up having, how many defensive traits I'm gonna have towards the end of the game. That was pretty much a nuke. We did have our team there to help, but Zed is 2 and 5. He only has 1 complete item. He's not doing a whole lot. And I'm not even trying to kill them. I'm just trying to relieve a little bit of pressure off of this turret. Apparently, yeah, they took my blue buff, so I don't have a counter on that. So for the time being, I will just farm up a little bit. And the way your Feral Flare works, guys, if you don't know, it gives you your basic 12% or 12 attack damage and 30% attack speed. And then for every stack you get, every large minion you kill, you get an additional bonus magic damage. So it maxes at 3. It doesn't max. So it pretty much, as long as you keep farming your Feral Flare, you will never stop getting stronger, which is nice. It's really nice, but you obviously don't want that. Well, that was rude. I'm fighting this guy, but it's a bad. Yeah, hello. I was gonna say I'm fighting this guy, but I know it's a bad idea because Braum would have to be an idiot to initiate by himself. And then 3 of them showed up, and it was like, oh shit. Okay, so the team's not doing so great, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick up an early home guard, and that's just gonna help me pretty much show up a lot sooner. I got rabies. That's why I run so fast. I'm on the crack. Unfortunately, can't really defend this against 4 people, so I'm just gonna run away like a bok. Now this guy is tanky, but I have a lot of anti-tank items, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, obviously he's not going to get melted like. That was easy to walk away from. Thanks for the kill steal.
He does that a lot, doesn't he?
That was nice. It's all good. It's a fun game. Well, someone around me is hurt because I'm running super fast. Okay, it stopped. So they did. The enemy team did take that time to counter jungle me, which is a bummer. Alright, so let's talk about what to do mid to late game when team's just running around not really doing a whole lot objective wise. Dragon is up, so I could easily take that, and honestly by being up here I kind of tell Elise, hey, free dragon, because if she wants to go after that she easily could. Bye Jinx. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up my Sunfire and head towards dragon. Actually, I'm just going to head towards this general area. And actually, if I can run around these guys and take dragon, I totally will. And Irelia is being real smart right here by pressuring top, because then Scion runs from out of nowhere. It looks like they are setting up for dragon. Yes, they are. So there's nothing I can do to contest that, unfortunately. I will actually. I'm gonna throw a long range. I'm gonna throw this. Bam. They got it. Bummer. That's okay. So now I'm gonna be a super ballsy guy and push this tower in a little bit. Oh, hi Ezreal. I can actually all in him. Ult. W. Yeah. Boom. And when I said W, I meant Blade of the Rune King, and it was as simple as that. So super strong damage from Warwick with just 2 offensive items. So that is why I like Warwick so much. A lot of people say he's a no-skill champ. Well, that, you know, in regards to his ult, that's true. You press R and you suppress somebody. But knowing who to suppress, knowing what you can do with the damage that you are going to put out, it takes a little bit of knowledge. So he's not completely skillless. But my goal is to try to carry this game, because one thing I know about Elise as a jungler is that her early game is pretty strong, but her late game is pretty poop. So we should still be able to get a win on this one. And I'm just, in my downtime, kind of just farming out a little bit. Elise is pushing bot lane, which is fine. I can actually go down there and fight her. Let's see. She has armor, which doesn't really do a whole lot against me. And I'm gonna go pick a fight with her if I can find her. Maybe she'll pick a fight with me if I make it obvious. One thing I'm doing right now, other than just basic farming, is I'm keeping the lanes kind of pushed. Top lane's fairly pushed, but bottom lane's not pushed. So what I don't want to let happen, I don't want my minions, or their minions, to keep going closer and closer to my base, because I basically don't want this tower to take any minion damage. So if I can keep pushing these waves out, it's gonna do just that, and keep my minions pushed forward, which gives me opportunities to take towers and such, blah blah blah. How many times have you hey Elise, go ahead and activate my Bork active. I'm gonna start fighting her. She thinks she can take me, but I'm gonna surprise her with an ult. Hello, bye bye. So I took her out, and I'm gonna just push this tower, and that's gonna be that. I should be able to get it fairly quickly. I think Sion's probably going to meet me up here, but that's okay. You can see my damage, even with no AD items, is pretty solid on towers. Alright, so walking away now, and I'm going to check... Hey, Sona. Ow! You do a lot of damage. I'm going to fuck out of here. Don't check this bush. I'm not in this bush. I'm not in this bush. Don't check this bush. Don't check. Oh shit. Alright, I'm out of here. So now I want to start looking at defensive items for their AP people, because they do have a pretty fed Sona. She's doing lots of damage. Spirit Visage is pretty much the #1 AP item for Warwick. I can't really ever give you an option where you want to go with the Banshee's Veil instead. The reason being is the Spirit Visage gives you increased, I think 20% increased healing with the Blade of the Rune King, with the way Warwick naturally works. What are you doing, dude? Alright, hey. Ult. W. He flashed. I'm still going to be able to catch up to him. Oh, shit. Okay, I guess I'll kill this guy instead. Okay, or not. Team, assemble! Wow, at least just flashing away from me wants nothing to do with me. That's okay. So as you can tell, look at my damage. I'm doing lots of mixed damage, and my health regeneration is insane. I don't have my ult here, but I do have a Q, and that was enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit her with the Blade of the Rune King active. She's stunning me, and I'm gonna switch my focus to Sion. Even though he's a super tank, I do have Blade of the Rune King, so it doesn't make a big difference. Getting the Q off on him, taking him out. Gonna back off. Have my ult again, so I'm gonna go ahead and use that on Elise and take her as well. So pretty much easy pickings. And because of where I'm at, because the lanes are not pushed, I can't really do a whole lot other than push the lanes further out. So that's all I'm gonna do, is go out here, push these lanes a little further. There's probably some better options, like maybe let's see, we have Braum and Irelia up, so we can't really Baron right here, but that's the kind of, those are the kind of things you can do to set up for Baron. Like, that is a super easy Baron, and actually with as much armor as I have, I could actually tank this no problem. And then we're gonna walk away, and I'm gonna hope that. All right, I'm out. And I came back to try to save you, and you just let me die. You're a traitor! Okay. Well, it was totally worth. I'm more than willing to die for a turret. So that's all good. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up my Spirit Visage, which is just gonna continue to make me more and more tanky. Like you've seen, I'm already doing plenty of damage. I don't need to get any more defensive items. And as the jungler, this is where you make your decision. Do you split push or do you group up with your team? And that really depends on who you're playing, honestly. Because I'm playing Warwick, I think it's better to split. The reason I say that is because
Bye.
okay. That was that was kind of funny. The reason I say it's better to split push, in my opinion, is because they have to send at least 2 people to counter my split push. Because if they send one person, I can easily just ult them, you know, and take them out. So if they only send one person, all they're gonna do is send me a free kill. They'll be like, "Hey, here's lunch." So I'm going to Irelia with a good TP, heading up to that tower while the team fights over here. So good play by her. She's going to be met with some resistance by Sona, but she's easily going to take that tower and run off. So that's actually the objective that I was going to pursue. So with that being said, I'm going to go over here and solo dragon. The later you get into the game, the less dragon is worth to the team, but it's still free gold. And I mean, it's worth more money. Actually, it's actually worth more money, but percentage-wise, it's not really worth, you know, as much. If that makes any sense whatsoever.
It helps.
She helped. So I'm gonna go over here and harass this Elise, because she can't fight me. She's actually probably gonna run as soon as she sees me, but if not, that's cool. Hey, come here, lady. Oh. So she's gonna land here because she can't go anywhere unless she has a ward. So that's just a super. Oh no! Ah! Oh no! Ah! Okay, with 4 people bottom, you would. Okay, this is bronzy though. When you, when your team notices that there are 4 people bottom, like they just did. What that tells your team is this turret is absolutely free. If they don't do anything about that, it's unfortunate, but you can't force your team to do stuff. You can suggest it, and I highly recommend that. And another good tip as a jungler is I recommend you, you know, if you see someone's about to gank, ping it, let them know. If you see someone, or someone's about to get ganked, ping it, let them know. Make as many calls as you can, because if you're in the jungle farming, face it, you have some free time. So if you do that and you wind up helping your team out, chances are later in the game they're going to listen to you. So say I'm bot and I die and there's 4 people there, I could be like, "Hey Jinx, top tower is unprotected, go take it out," and then she could do that. Because I'm focusing more on commentating and talking than team play, I have no idea what the purpose of that ult was, but because I'm focusing on commentating rather than team play, I didn't say anything, but it all worked out in the end. Not really, but whatever. So Jinx is over here farming while the team fight's going on, and they're gonna push this mid tower and take it most likely. So what I'm gonna do, hey you, I can actually get the attention of the entire team because I'm big and they know it. They want to fight me, they want to kill me, they want to shut me down, and that's okay. Jinx is actually split pushing top, which is cool. Oh, that was lame. My ult immediately got cancelled. I threw my Q there just to survive the ignite damage. Unfortunately, they don't have a whole lot of squishies on in this game, so that's rough. And I cannot contest this. I'm just gonna run around in circles around this. Interrupt it. Okay, well, there's no sense chasing after Sona. I mean, killing her would be nice, but it's not worth chasing into unknown territory. So all I'm going to do here is farm up a little bit, and then I'm going to push this wave up, and then as soon as I get vision on the enemy team, I will know what to do at that point. Honestly, we should have taken Baron a long time ago, but this is lower elo. That didn't happen a whole lot, unless you make the call. So unless you make the call and it's a good call. So that brings up a good question. When is it a good time to Baron? There are a lot of answers to that. The safe call to get a Baron is immediately after an ace. That's obvious. However, there are other options. If you can make it maybe a 3v5 and you know that everyone on your team is alive and near the Baron, that's a good time to get it. You really want to have your AD carry present because they're going to be doing a lot of damage to that Baron as on an individual level. And if you don't have your AD carry, it's not going to be a fast Baron, and you might not necessarily want to risk it. Whoops! You didn't see me miss that siege. So I can see that there's 3 mid and Elise is bottom. I don't know where Ezreal's. There's Sion. Hi, Elise. I'm being ballsy, fighting her under tower. I don't give a crap. I'm literally that fed right now, so I did take out someone in a 1v1, and then I saw Ezreal's ult, so I know I need to get out of here because he's gonna Arcane Shift. Arcane Shift Flash. Can he catch me? Ow. I am out of here. Ow. Oh, he got me. So the team actually did get a turret out of that. You can do this. Okay, good job. And that was just a little too ballsy on my part. I am pretty dang tanky, but I'm nowhere near tanky enough to take on this super fed because he's got 17 kills and 250 creeps. So this is my full build. Honestly, I could have a Guardian Angel, but I don't typically get that. I just don't feel like it's worth the money because if you die once, you have to wait 5 whole minutes for that to be for the passive to be active again. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop talking now, and we'll just fast forward to the end of the game. Okay, so I lied a little bit. Now we're gonna be doing a little bit of team fighting, and since I am Warwick, my favorite jungler, I know exactly what I need to do. My job as Warwick is to suppress the most fed person on their team. And that was a really good ult. I'm actually going to go in on that. If I can get Ezreal, there we go. So Ezreal's down. Ezreal being the most fed person on the team. And I'm going to go ahead and drop my Blade of the Rune King active on... Oh, shit. Okay, well he jumped into me and killed himself. And that pretty much just ended the game. Sion is still alive, sort of, but whatever. So all I did there was I waited for the team to engage somewhat, but honestly you can engage yourself as long as your team is really close by and you know you can do stuff with it. I waited for the team to engage, and I suppressed the most fed person on the team. Typically that's going to be the AD carry, or typically it's going to be the AD carry that you want to suppress, but not always. You know, if they have a mid who's really doing well, I don't know what the hell this Jinx is doing, but if they have a mid who's doing really well, you can go after their mid. It really just depends on who's fed, and that's it. So Braum initiated with his ultimate, and I just kind of got in there, ulted their most important champ, which was Ezreal, because he is 17 and 6. He was 17 and 6 at the time, and we went from there. I'm not going to try to take this, but I will tank it while you walk past it.
Whee!
My ult's up again, so if she continues to fight. So we don't need to be that greedy. We can just back off. And as you could tell when I was taking this turret, or we were taking this turret without even... Who counter jungled their red? It wasn't me.
Zed.
Zed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. As you can tell in that, as we were taking that tower, Elise is pretty much obsolete right now. She just can't do anything. Her single target damage isn't that great late game. So I don't want to say she's useless, but her what the f What was Jinx doing mid? Okay. Whatever. So I can see from visions the whole team's converging on me, so all I gotta do is run my scary ass away. And we have 2 broken inhibitors on their side, so we're gonna be doing lots and lots of damage. I will go ahead and throw my Feral Flare of Ward on Baron, but I'm not gonna attempt to take it. I could take it, but Warwick never honestly gets to the point where he can quickly take Baron. Well, that's the end of the game, guys. It wound up being an hour-long game. Holy cow. But keep in mind, this is just one aspect of jungling. Jungling is a very complex it's a very complex thing. It's not simple. Nothing in League of Legends is as simple as it looks. So I'll keep that in mind. Lots of things we didn't cover, like other types of jungling, you know, people who would get the Sight Stone, or not Sight Stone, but Spirit Stone, turn that into Spirit of the Ancient Golem, Spirit of the Elder Lizard, that kind of stuff. But this was just a basic how-to on jungling, specifically with Warwick. I hope you enjoyed watching the video, and until next time, this is Blunt Force Llama.